Our first session, kicking off at 2 o'clock very shortly, is with Emily from AppTweak. She's the ASO Expert at AppTweak, so she's got plenty to share with you on that topic. And we have a short sponsor video before we get cracking. So let's see the video.
Can you all hear me, yeah? All right, stunning. I'm Emily, I'm from AppTweak, and I'm here to talk to you about ASO trends in 2023. It's nice to see some of you again. I seen you last night, a couple of sore heads. I also enjoyed the festivities last night, possibly a bit too much, so you may have to bear with me at some points. But yeah, just to talk a little bit about ASO, this is the salesy bit. Feel free to tune out for the next 2 or 3 minutes. I work for AppTweak, so we're an ASO tool, but we also do like ad intelligence, market intelligence, and we have a reporting studio now as well, which is quite cool. And these then are some of our clients, which you might be familiar with. That's me. I am Emily. I work as an ASO expert, which makes me sound a lot more intelligent than I actually am. But my job basically is to do like consulting with some of our clients and then also training on kind of the best ASO practices. So today we're just going to talk a bit about ASO basics first. So just for anyone who's quite new to ASO or for people who are doing it already, just to kind of refocus. Then we're going to have a look at what the upcoming ASO trends are for 2023. So ASO basics. The first thing are the principles of ASO. So we define ASO as anything that's going to improve an app's visibility over its lifetime, anything that maximizes the appeal of the app in the App Store as well for users, whether they're past, present, lapsed, future. And this is all with the view of increasing downloads, increasing activations, and making you a ton of money. So it's quite nice. Now, I hear this all the time in my line of work, that ASO is basically just optimizing keywords, and that is not true. Because ASO is anything with this view of either increasing visibility or increasing conversion. And our partners at Feature a couple of years ago came up with this ASO stack. And you can see here that, yeah, you have up here your keywords, your keyword optimizations, things like that. But also you have things like creatives, and you have ads, ASA, which is really important, and reviews and ratings as well. Cool. Okay, so why is ASO important for you? Why should you be doing ASO? Well, first of all, you get to increase your visibility. The next thing you get to do is strengthen your global reach through things like localization. You can boost conversion rates and then lower CPIs, which is obviously really important. And then that all improves your lifetime value. Now, 2022 was a massive year for ASO. As you can see, a ton of things happened here. And we were pretty accurate last year in predicting what was going to happen. As you can see from 2021 to 2022, a lot of these things are kind of similar. So you have the introduction of custom product pages, and then all of these changes here to custom product pages. And in-app events as well. ASA was a big one. So the same thing is going to happen in 2023, basically. It's going to be kind of a continuation of what was happening in 2022. So the first trend to look out for in 2023, we reckon, is custom store pages. So custom store pages, currently, you have, I guess, specific store landing pages for different ads, for different sources of traffic. So originally what was happening, you would have all of these ads on Facebook, on different social media that were, I guess, being driven towards your app. So as you can see here, this one is kind of concentrating on like a match 3 element of the game. The second one concentrates on the narrative, And then the third one concentrates on the romance, which is lovely. However, all of them were being driven back to this product page here. And this product page focuses purely on the match 3 element of the game. So a lot of users will see this. They want to see, I guess, the storytelling or the romance, and it's not immediately obvious, so they're turned away. With custom product pages, what you can do is you have this one here, which focuses on the narrative, and it changes here to show you that. It looks here that this is very concentrated on the narrative side of things, even though it's the same game. So that's going to increase your conversion as well. Now, custom store pages are a bit different in both of the stores. On the Apple Store, they're called custom product pages, and you can really only change the screenshots. That's the only thing you can change. Whereas on Google Play, you can change a lot more. You can change basically the entire page to suit whatever ad you're trying to push. They also have different rules. Okay, so with Apple, they're compatible with ASA, but you can't display them to organic traffic. With Google, you can display them to organic traffic as well. You can also have 35 custom product pages and almost 50 custom store listings. So you can have a lot more on Google Play. Not that you need 50, but if you needed to. Multiple ad networks are now compatible with Apple Search or with the Apple App Store, whereas with Google, it's typically in-source. That's the most compatible. But for 2022, we reckon that it will be supported by all ad networks, and that becomes really, really important. And it's going to become a regular part of the UA process, almost like having a feature graphic on Google Play. It's going to be really important. Also, Google announced that they'll be introducing churned customer store listings. Churned user custom store listing. I did warn you, I was out last night. So churned user custom store listings as well. So that's really important for lapsed users. We also think possibly that Google could connect the Google ad campaign to custom store listings, and also that you could attempt to use custom store pages as a way to measure the impact of kind of hard to track campaigns. So for example, if you have a printed ad on the London Underground and you want to see how many of your downloads are coming from that single ad, you could stick a QR code on it and you can track your traffic that way. So it is a good way to track kind of harder to track campaigns. The next thing that we reckon is coming is in-app events and live apps, that they're going to be really big in 2023 as well. So the current situation, they're increasingly popular. They have really good adoption from devs on iOS. Devs can choose to target new, current, or lapsed users with in-app events on iOS as well, so that's also really handy. The in-app events are most effective when they're featured. But it's kind of luck of the draw for smaller studios. It's really hard to be featured if you're not kind of a big developer, and they tend to be featured a lot more. But if you are a smaller developer and you are featured, it's like striking gold. It can be really, really impactful. And similarly, in 2023, live apps were put on beta on Google Play. So that was last year, and currently this year so far as well. Now, what's been announced and highly expected, Google has announced that live apps will be coming out of beta, and it's going to change a little bit. It's going to be called promotional content. So promotional content is going to be open to everyone, hopefully by the end of 2023, rather than just a few big developers. So that's quite a big deal. And with this, it can support your monetization, so you can show discounts, offers, giveaways, things like that. New gameplay features, content drops, and also pre-registration announcements as well. So that's quite important. Now, because this is changing so much, and Apple is quite rigid in the way that they're doing in-app events at the moment, it's expected that Apple will try and compete with Google Play so that they will have a very similar type for in-app events. Cool. And then the last one that we think is going to happen in 2023 is third-party app stores. So currently, Android is an open system. It already allows for third-party app stores. However, there aren't many third-party app stores apart from Google Play. So we have Google Play, which is kind of the main, I guess, for Android, the main app store. But you also have ones that are quite popular, like Huawei App Gallery, the Samsung Galaxy Store, and the Amazon App Store as well. And there's loads others. Apple, on the other hand, they operate a closed system. So the only App Store available on iOS is the Apple App Store. And in 2023, we expect that to change. And the reason for that is, of this little thing right here, the Digital Markets and Services Act from the European Commission. So they've essentially said that the market is too monopolized or duopolized by Google Play and Apple App Store. It's not exactly fair, so that they need to open up the market. And as a result, we expect that iOS this year is going to allow for third-party app stores, which is quite a big deal. And we expect that to be across all the markets, not just the EU. And the reason for this is the EU is 27, formerly 28 countries. And with that, so it's quite a big market, you know, and they're going to have to bring this change in across all of them. So this could potentially be a way for developers to avoid the commission, the 15 to 30% commission, which is quite a lot, potentially. Now, however, we're not too sure because, so you could have higher margins, no commission, no fees, nice one, and more autonomy in creating your product pages because is it automatically approved if you own the third-party app store? Do you have guidelines that you have to meet if it's your own app store? However, possible obstacles, Apple could decide to charge a similar fee to the commission that they have on the App Store anyway. So then, as well as that, you're going to have less visibility for your product page and also less trust and security. A lot of people are very hesitant about downloading a third-party app store onto your phone. You get the big scary message to say, are you sure you want to do this? And you kind of go, maybe not. So very important, the less trust and security. Also less visibility. If people are used to the Apple App Store, are they really going to go, do I need this game that badly that I have to go and get it from another app store? Maybe not. So you could potentially be paying more or less the same for less visibility, less traffic, less downloads, and then less profit. So just to conclude it all together, custom store pages, we think, are great. They're going to be really important for you in 2023. They're great for conversion, and they have so many extras coming out that are really going to help you in 2023, such as the churn user custom store listings. Beautiful. Going to be adopted by all ad networks. We'll see, hopefully, if they are even better. In-app events and promotional content, formerly known as live ops, also really important in 2023. They have good adoption rates. They don't really cost that much to do in terms of the ASO side of it. They don't cost that much. They don't take that much resources. They don't take that much effort. And if they go well, they go really well. Extras coming in 2023 that could add value. So Google Play supporting monetization, updates and pre-registration, and then by proxy, Apple possibly changing to meet that criteria as well. And then finally, third-party app stores, we'll see. We'll see. I think personally for bigger developers, this could be a good idea. For smaller studios, possibly not. And again, that point of you might have to pay a very, very similar fee to the commission that you're paying already, maybe 3% less, but for less visibility, less traffic, and less money. So that's pretty much it. Okay, thank you very much. I know. Now, I flew through that. That was a lot slower in my head. So does anyone have any questions to fill up the next 13 minutes? Anyone at all? Yeah, go ahead.
So you say there might be additional app stores coming.
Yes.
Do you think you'll be allowed to just put your app on board? And therefore
Yeah, that's true as well. You could put your app on multiple of them, the same way that you can now put your app on Google Play, Samsung Galaxy Store, all of them. So that is an option too. But you also have to consider the amount of resources that would go into building a third-party app store. Is it going to be worth it? Possibly. For bigger developers, I'd say maybe. For smaller developers, smaller studios, probably not. Okay. Anyone else?
Question over there.
Oh, yeah.
How about with subscribers on your existing apps? Is there going to be a chance to move them onto like a subscription package on a new app store, and obviously not pay the commission on that new subscription?
Sorry, what?
So with subscribers on, let's say you've got a subscriber on from the App Store, from the App Store version of the app, is there going to be a way that you could potentially get that user to move to one of these new App Store apps?
Yeah, potentially. So if you develop your own app store, your own third-party app store, there is ways, obviously, to push people to anything, the same with any kind of app. It's going to be very similar marketing, I reckon. The same way if, possibly not in-app ads, but there will be marketing efforts to push people towards these third-party app stores. I know already for, I think it's Chromebooks, the laptops, that Origin is a third-party app store. And if you want to buy certain games, I think it's like EA, that you have to go through them rather than Google Play to get those apps on your laptop, which makes sense. So there's going to be ways about it, but again, you kind of have to consider, is it worth putting all of these resources into the developers, into the marketing, into the trying to push people when you are, first of all, going to probably have to pay a very similar fee. And then as well as that, probably less traffic, unless you really push it with the marketing. But the payoff on that, is it going to be worth it? Well, you'd have to do the calculations for your own studios. Yeah. Cute.
Any further questions?
Please say no. Okay, no, go on.
One more. One more.
Do you see ASO just as
Sorry.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Do you see ASO just as a means of making the most of the audience that is coming your way, or do you see it as a means of growing that audience? Do you see a positive feedback loop in terms of Google Play, I suppose, the algorithm?
Mm-hmm.
You serve a better targeted ad to an audience. Does that audience grow, or is it just a case of making the best of the traffic coming your way?
Both.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Good.
So it kind of depends on your strategy, and you can strategize to include both of those sources of traffic, that you have your existing users that you're trying to re-engage or engage even further, or you can grow to a bigger audience. It really kind of depends on your own business strategy and, yeah, I guess your goals for what you want out of ASO. Yeah.
I've got time for just one more. Anybody?
Yeah, go ahead.
Go for it.
Do you think app stores are actually going to lead to more traffic? Because at least I've seen, the Apple App Store, for instance, has lost a lot of its marketing power, and the Google Play Store is seemingly almost focused on just promoting the top ones. Do you think there's going to be any changes in those kind of strategies?
That's kind of hard to say. I think as consumers, we're very kind of set in our ways. If you ask anyone, Apple or Android, they always have one or the other. They're never like Huawei App Store. That's never, sometimes an option, but not usually. So I think consumers are very set in their ways, and I don't think for 2023 that's going to change. But potentially, if these third-party app stores are introduced, consumers like them, there's always the opportunity for them to grow a bit further.